All three together.
Gone.
Ready?
Yep.
Give me a 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Good evening, Bobcat Nation. Welcome back to a delayed Bobcat Blitz. I'm Sean Kirkpatrick here at the cage, where tonight your Lady Bobcats varsity are taking on Manatee. Back in our Zoom studio, we have Mr. John Rawlings. John, take it away.
Hey, how you doing there, Sean?
I'm doing good. It's been a while. How's your late New Year?
Well, we got our new year off to a good start. We took the granddaughters out to Disney. It was Ellie's second time going, and EVT's first time going, but they had a blast. So we started
Did
out.
grandparents have a blast, or are you dreading every minute of it?
No, we had a great time. Enjoyed every minute of it, and still haven't forgotten the facial expressions throughout the park. So it was
those kids having fun.
You know what? I have to give credit to both of my granddaughters because no matter how long the line was that we stood in, one was an hour. I didn't say a name of a child one time that was ours.
Wow.
So that was a pretty impressive. And then they just went to Disney on Ice up in Cleveland. And oh my gosh, they've the month of January in 24 for them has been at least the first 2 weeks has been a crazy overload of excitement for them.
Well, I feel like here on the Blitz, we've been on a little slow pause here. Last Tuesday, we had planned to come here for the big anticipated Charlotte rematch. That, of course, weather had other plans. Charlotte County shut us down. So I'm really glad I can be back here at the cage. We've got the ladies here tonight. I'm going to introduce you because we got to get them ready for their game here. So I'm going to bring in 3 of our captains of the Lady Bobcat teams. Come on in, ladies. Let's get you in here.
And I'm going to put you on the screen by yourself there.
How are we doing there? How's that? How are we looking, John?
Good. Keep it up.
All right. So we're going to go one at a time, starting over here. We're going to go with name, grade level, and position. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Gabrielle McFarland. I'm in 10th grade, and I'm a guard.
My name is Maya Van Salisbury. I'm in 11th grade, and I'm a shooting guard.
I am Riley Richards. I'm in 9th grade, and I'm a point guard.
Oh, great job. Now, I've heard about – so, John, I don't even know this is our first team I've heard of in a long time that's not going to have a senior night. Ladies, why is there no senior nights this year?
We don't have any seniors.
That's a young team. That's right. I'm going to talk about that some more. That's right. Young team. We got the freshman on my left, your right side. We have another freshman who contributed with the Braden River win pretty significantly. So, ladies, let's talk about it for a minute. So, first of all, how long have you been playing basketball? Were you here locally? Were you other places? How about yourself?
I was here locally, and I've been playing for 4 years.
Yes. Go ahead.
I've been here my whole life, and I've been playing for 6 years.
Excellent.
I've been here my whole life, and I've been playing for 8 years.
So, local talent stayed here. What brought you to Northport to play for Coach Tilman? What was did you play youth leagues with him? Did you know him from the youth camps?
No, he kind of just showed up.
Just showed up? It had to have been something special knowing that there's no seniors on this team, that you 3, and obviously your teammates, are going to have to pick up that role as an upperclassman, even though you're underclassmen. How would you say this year's been for you in terms of learning and exposure and the level of play you've had to go up against? You've had some pretty hard teams you've gone up against. So what would you say this year's gone for you so far?
Yeah, it's been every single game has been a learning opportunity. It's kind of hard because, all these teams are older than us. There's usually not a lot of young kids like us. But we're trying to learn with every game, and we have all next year to improve as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Your record's not the greatest right now, but we knew it was going to happen that way. But next year, boy, I tell you, having this year or two under your belts going into your next year you got to be looking forward to that. I got the youngest one here. What about starting as a freshman?
It's amazing. A lot of people, they question it a lot, and they never actually really know I'm a freshman until I actually have to tell them.
Right. So you got some maturity on there beyond your years, that kind of thing? Yeah, that's fantastic. How about yourself? You enjoying the year development? I know it's frustrating at times, but
Yeah, definitely frustrating at times. But I feel like because we're younger, I guess we're all kind of friends with each other. I feel like we're all really close. And obviously not having any seniors, we don't really have that competition to, be the best, I guess. I feel like we all just play as a team. And even if we have, bad games where we get mad at each other, we always come back and we're always, laughing and joking with each other. So, it's never anything too serious.
Good. So coach was having to yell at you or
Oh, I mean, he
Oh,
yells.
he
yells.
He yells.
Yeah, but it's warranted.
It's okay.
Oh, that's an honest player. Good for you. Let's go back to Braden Rivers' win the other day. That was was it here or was it away?
It was here.
It was. Oh, you
Braden
got to flip.
River. Oh,
That was huge.
We just had that game.
that
Yeah.
one. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was not at that game, but
So you pulled off not quite a 10-point win on that game. What was your? So the two freshmen had 10+ points. What was your key that night? What were you doing that was different that night that say other teams you were up against?
I think that game we had less communication. The first time we played them, we blew them out by a lot. But that's because we all played as a team. I feel like this game, the most recent one, we didn't play as much as a team. It was more like people trying to do stuff individually, which we figured out wouldn't work.
John, do you like hearing that from our freshmen?
I absolutely do. It's fantastic. I do have a question for them though. With the lack of senior leadership, how are you filling that sort of a void with this team?
Can you catch that?
Yeah. I mean, we only have 2 juniors this year. It's me and my other teammate. I don't know. It's kind of hard because I feel like we're kind of all on an even playing field. Like, I don't see, like, I feel like with seniors, they're kind of just, like, kind of on a pedestal a little bit, and that, like, we look up to them. But I kind of feel like we all see each other as equal, and not, like, one person is better than the other.
That's a pretty, yeah. You agree with that answer there? Then
No, I like the answer because a
I do
lot of
too.
times you're leaning on your senior leadership to pull in your freshmen and your sophomores. The juniors like yourself and the other girl, you're there, but man, are you excited about what this team has developed as far as the camaraderie?
Oh, yeah. It's been very different. Last year we had 6 seniors, and there was 2 sophomores, me and my other teammate, and a junior who transferred. So it's been a lot of different changes. It's like a lot different than what it was last year, but I feel like we're adjusting pretty well.
John, this is the last team we've had a chance to talk to about the Key West single camaraderie. Everybody else got interviewed between now and then. So as the youngest team on the bus, how did that experience go for you guys?
Oh, it was really fun.
so
Yeah.
much fun. I think that game we really played as a team. I feel like we stepped it up on defense. We were sharing the ball, and all our shots were at first our shots weren't falling, but then they started falling, and then it was great.
Do you want, as freshmen, sophomores, did you ever expect you to have a road trip like that?
Oh no,
No.
Not really, no.
no.
Are you a little spoiled? Want to do it again next year? Yeah, everybody said so far. Coach, how did you like that Key West experience? He's giving me a thumbs up on the side there.
Awesome.
Ladies, how are you doing with your schooling? I mean, you're so young, you don't have the seniors to tell you, well, when I was your age kind of stories. How are you balancing the school and the social life, your rest and your diet, all that? How's that working for you?
Well, personally, I would say with school, I kind of figured out how to balance school and basketball in my social life. I actually go to a different school, and the workload is a little more rigorous, I would say, than most high schools. But I feel like I've learned from last year until now, I've learned to work on my time management. So I feel like I'm able to get enough sleep. I'm able to get my homework done, as well as still being here for quite a few hours, like for practice or for games. And with my social life, I feel like I get a lot of socialness here with my teammates, and I get to talk to them all the time. And I also get to talk to my friends at school, and I think I have an even balance.
What school do you go to?
I go to Pineview. It's in
Oh,
Osprey.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Man, there's a challenge out there. The girls cross country team just won the 4A state academic title. We're going to get that in basketball this year. We got Pineview as our anchor there. Oh, my goodness. How do you find time to play basketball and go to Pineview? And I'm hearing you can sing as well for your chorus.
Yeah.
Do you sleep at all?
I do sleep, actually. I get up pretty early, but I usually make up for that by going to bed as early as I can. I just try to find time to do my homework whenever I can. And then from my school, I also have a bus that takes me here, so I don't have to worry about transportation after school for like practices and stuff. So that's very convenient.
Yeah, excellent. How about yourselves? How's the studying and the?
Well, I have a 4.9 GPA.
Oh, I
right
think we're
now.
getting some state titles here up at the girls cross country.
I have a 4.8.
Whoa.
I have a 4.5.
Whoa, wait, stop, hang on. We're measuring 4-point-somethings here. That's like a Richter scale or something. What?
Yeah, and really, I feel like as I get more into the years of high school, just learning that that learning method and that work ethic, it really just gets better. Because last year my grades were nowhere as good as they are now.
Wow. So you think basketball made you more focused because you basically had no
and
choice?
Just getting used to it, kind of just the adjustment. Like I wasn't used to all these.
Wow. Now, John, for a freshman to get a 4.5, there's not a ton of advanced honors usually for freshmen. That means I'm guessing you have nothing but all A's, honors.
Yeah.
Are you in the A's program?
Yes, I am.
There you go. Man.
Well, the good news is everybody there is at least 2 points higher than I was.
Well, it's great to hear that students hear the grades like that because we push so much the sports and all that, but really the academics, no matter what happens to you athletically, you'll always have that to back up too. You know,
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
Ask them, one of them, to answer this. The combination of athletics and the success in athletics, is that a direct correlation to how they feel in school and with their friends on campus?
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of kind of what I'm known for at school is like the basketball girl. I feel like you can relate. But yeah, kind of even if you're like just tired from yesterday's game, like that, if your hamstrings are sore, you can feel that in school. Like every time you sit down, like your thighs hurt. So it does correlate. I mean, I'm here every day after school.
And your colleagues in class don't have that to worry about.
I guess not. No.
They don't. That's right.
How's the support with the students at the school towards the team?
How's your classmates? They support you, or they getting better at that?
Yeah.
Good.
It's
No one
awesome.
tackling you. I gotta rough them up.
It's always like, even if you're a girls team of any kind of sport, it's always like a little bit of the, oh, you're a girl, that kind of whole thing. Yeah. But I feel like never anyone like, you suck. Anything like
Good.
that.
Good. That's awesome.
Good. Yeah, that's fantastic. Great job, guys.
All right. So how much time we got left there, Coach? I got a couple workouts left.
5 minutes.
Oh, I got 5 minutes. Good. So tonight you're taking on Manatee. I don't know anything about that. I get a chance to look at Max Preps. What are you looking for tonight against them?
A better win. Last time we played them, we didn't play very good.
You're at Manatee?
We still won by like 16.
Yeah.
So tonight, I feel like if we played like how we played against Port Charlotte last night, we'll take them how we're supposed to.
John, that's a freshman saying they want more than a 16-point win. They weren't happy with they were not happy with a road win by 16. I love it.
Sometimes you just have to get going and take what you get, but you can still be disappointed and take the positive away from it, right?
Has there been a time this season, it could be a win or a loss, where there was a moment like that where, man, I didn't play my best. My teammates were there to help me out. The next day at practice, you worked it out, and something. Have you had moments like that as this young season? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lemon Day was a game.
Oh yeah, I think it was definitely the last time we played them is when I had my worst game. So.
Lemon Bay, yeah.
Port Charlotte?
No, Port Charlotte was fine for me.
Okay. Manatee? The last time we played Manatee?
Last time we played Manatee.
I feel like as a team, we were all just having a rough game. I think we were tired or something, but our defense
I think it
was
was the first game
slacking.
back in Key West.
Yeah. Oh, first game back in Key West. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So we were all tired. Like, defense was slacking. We weren't communicating. We weren't sharing the ball. Like, just throwing the ball away. So, yeah.
So tonight, nice game for you to come back and pick up. Who do you have after this? Let me see. I haven't scheduled yet. Who do you have the rest of the week after this
We have
game?
Lemon Day on Friday.
Friday night basketball game here.
No, it's
Oh, wait.
Saturday, yeah.
Okay. I didn't see that. Oh, too bad. Yeah. A rematch with Lemon Bay.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get that win.
Is that becoming one of your bigger rivals in the area?
It shouldn't be.
shouldn't have
It
been.
shouldn't be. It
We
shouldn't have
just
been.
didn't again play like a team.
Man, I love this. I love these answers,
Just
ladies.
throwing the ball.
Fantastic.
John, got one more. I'm going to let him go here.
No, finish it up, buddy. You're doing a great
Okay.
job.
Well, again, fans, we got plenty of time here. It's only about 6:15, but the ladies have to get ready for their pre-games. We've got 2 events tonight here at Northport High School. One here in the cage, your Lady Bobcats basketball taking on Manatee. And out at the preserve, we have Lady Bobcats soccer taking on Sarasota. You got any well wishes? Want to say hi to anybody before you go? Your friends and family? Any birthdays, anniversaries? Nothing like
So
that?
it's my dad's birthday on Friday, and we're going to win for him.
There you go. How old's your dad going to be? We got to take 10 years off. That's fine.
42.
All right. Happy birthday, Dad. What's his name? What's his name?
Oretz.
All right. Happy birthday. That's
Hey, happy birthday,
congratulations.
man.
All right, ladies. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming out tonight. Good
Hey,
luck
don't
tonight.
forget to tell them. Don't forget to tell them it's live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. They can share it, and she can give that to her dad as a little present too.
That's
It's
awesome.
about-
So look for Bobcat Bliss. Thank
It's
you,
about
ladies. Thank you.
14 minutes in.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Good luck tonight, ladies. That's it. All right. Thanks, guys. Good job. Fans, that was our 3 captains from our Lady Bobcats team doing their first ever interview. I think they did a great job, John.
They did a great job.
While we are
Fantastic.
transitioning over to our next guest, I will be leaving us around 6:30, 6:40-ish. I'm actually going to announce the girls' soccer game. They're taking on Sarasota. We are starting to wrap up our winter sports team that's already coming to an end, both basketball, girls and boys, and girls and boys soccer. Actually, soccer will probably come to an end about a week or two ahead of basketball. So this week will be the last home regular game for both the Lady Bobcat soccer, and tomorrow night the boys have a huge district winning game against Riverview. Whoever takes that win is going to get the first place seed in their district tournaments. Ladies, I believe, are pretty up there on their seeding as well. They will actually finish their regular season Thursday at Venice. That's going to be a big showdown on that one. All right, the rest of this week, I got to find what week I'm on. I'm sorry. So tomorrow, you got the Riverview game. Thursday, girls soccer at Venice. We also have, I don't know if I can make it or not, John. Thursday night, girls weightlifting is going to be here.
Wow.
They're going to unveil the newly done weight room. They're taking on Riverview at 5 o'clock. I might swing by. I can't wait to see it. I've yet to see the inside of that weight room. They're going to debut it. Friday night will also be here. They're going to have their senior night as well. The JV and varsity taking on Sarasota. You heard girls basketball is going to Lemon Bay. Saturday, lots going on Saturday. Wrestling at the John Joyce Memorial. That's an all-day tournament. Cheerleading's already at their regionals. They're going to go to Plant City. If you saw our post last week, both the JV and the varsity cheerleading won their district's first place in all their divisions. A clean sweep by the lady cheerleading team. Excellent job there. And then the big one, Wally Keller basketball tournament. And those of you fans out there who don't know, that is the biggest local area tournament outside the city of Palm, which is in Fort Myers. That's a national event. But in terms of Florida, it's huge. We're going to be there. I believe we have 11:30-ish tip-off. We're taking on First Baptist out of Naples. If my wife will let me, I'm going to go down there and film that game. I was trying to get a cameo announcing position, but I didn't quite fill it off in time. So I'm going to try to get down there to catch that live. That's the Wally Keller tournament. So a lot going on. We're still not done with our winter sports. But, yeah, so I don't know if you have Miss Kinker on there. I don't know if you can.
I do. I have her on.
Yep, I'm right here.
All right. John, I have a special guest lined up here. I've been wanting to get her on. We had her for a couple months ago. Miss Jennifer Kinker, a true friend of Northport High School sports and classroom activities. She's an SGA sponsor, one of our English teachers. She helps run the Bobcat Pride. That's the parent group for the basketball team. And her son plays for our starting point guard for the Northport High School. Ms. Kinker, I think I got everything in there. I can't remember if I forgot anything.
I think you summed it up.
You have 10 more committees you're on. Yeah. So, Ms. Kinker, I brought you on today because we couldn't quite get it for soccer, but we're hoping you could tell us about, you have some student government activities, basketball related, coming up. Why don't you tell us about what that is first, if you could?
Yeah, we have a lot of things happening. First off is Tuesday, the boys' home game, January 23rd. We're going to have a tailgate party for students, and that starts at 4:15 right in the outdoor cafe, free of charge to get in. We're going to be selling $2 tacos, walking tacos. We're also going to have free lemonade and free snow cones. And students will be able to get in the game at a discount, $2 to get in. We're going to have music, cornhole. So hopefully we'll get everybody hyped up so we can see a win on Tuesday. And that starts at 4:15. So 4:15 to 5:15.
So 4:15 to 5:15, and then they're going to want everybody in for the JV game. Is that the plan?
Yeah. So then everybody can proceed right to the gym for the JV game that's at 5:30. And we can cheer on the Bobcats on Tuesday.
And for those who don't know, Port Charlotte. So as depressed, you asked John how depressed I was last Tuesday, not having a chance to go back and take on Charlotte. I have been circling this Port Charlotte rematch as an announcer and as a fan for a long time. I can't wait to see us come back to the cage, show them how we can really play, and get that win against Port Charlotte. Port Charlotte has got a great defensive team. They are a hard team to beat, but I really think the way our boys have been going up these last couple of weeks, I think they've got a great chance of winning that game. So I'm really glad to hear they're going to have a tailgate for that. What's another tailgate you have? I think you had a second one planned as well.
Yes, the girls team. I forget when it's the last home game for girls. We're
They've
gonna
got
have
a Bishop Verot on the 26th. It's a Friday night game. Does that
Yes.
sound right?
That's
Yep.
got to be a tough one.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bishop
Friday
Verone.
night game, of course. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. It's going to be very similar to the boys' tailgate, the same details. And I'm not sure when the game starts. The times
I've got 5:30 and 7 listed for that game, Ms. Kinker.
for the girls.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So then it would be same 4:15 to 5:15. So,
Gotcha.
so same type thing. We're trying to get students out, and we want to get them to experience Northport, experience our sports. I think the culture right now is improving, and we just want to get everyone out and so they can feel the energy that's going on right now in our school.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh no, I was going to say. So with student government, are they running this? Is it half and half with athletics? Is it a student run?
Well, what we've
exercise
done,
here?
no, it's SGA. We've kind of decided that we're going to split it up with the classes. And so the seniors are doing boys basketball and the freshmen are going to organize the girls basketball with the help of their sponsors.
Yeah.
So, yes. So it's coming together, and, the kids are pulling it together, and coming up with ideas. And so we're ordering things, we're getting things ready. So it should be, we're hoping for a good turnout. And I think we're going to start having some announcements on the news about it, probably starting tomorrow. So we'll have something on the news Thursday and the day of, encouraging kids to come out to it.
Will you be having any throwaway, like giveaways during the game, like T-shirt throwaway?
We're working on it.
That will
So
get
stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. I really think
let me know, and I'll definitely post that, because I'm going to miss that tailgate. So I'd like to get some footage if you could. Take some pictures. We'll put it on our website.
We would like to get something going for some giveaways that night. But the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually partner with the Link Crew, which is a group of leaders in our school that go in and talk to the freshman classes and encourage the freshman classes. And our Link Crew is going to go into the freshman English classes on Friday to talk up the tailgates and try to get some kids to come out to it. And
excellent.
So that's good. So the other things we have going on in SGA, we have our big District 4 rally in Lake Placid coming up January 27th. It's a Saturday. So we're going to be taking some of our board members there, and Miss Noyes and I will be going there. And that's an exciting time for the kids to get together with everybody, their peers that are in our district, that are in student government.
What benefit does the organization provide back to athletics? Can you talk about how you're partnered?
Yes. So we're definitely a supportive role. So student government is kind of the driving force for a lot of activities that go on in our school beyond athletics. So, if athletics really wants to promote their games, they're going to partner with us, and we're going to try to get kids involved and organize things to get the students to come out to the games. If you noticed at football, that was it seemed like it was a little easier for us to do spirit nights in football. So we're the ones who supplied all of the spirit game props.
Right.
And, we did the student section. So what was it called? The
block.
The block.
Yes.
Yeah. So we introduced the block, this year. And so, encouraging kids to come out. We also started this year, we're pretty proud of it, the Touchdown Club. It was kind of a pilot program, and that started this year. And we had one of our junior members kind of take the ball and run with that, Ashley Bonatz, and she is in charge. She organized the whole thing and had the freshmen working it. And so we're only anticipating the Touchdown Club to get bigger and better next football season.
That was student driven? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, we can put it on the show. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Wow.
It was really cool, and so Yeah, so it's just, we're here to provide support for our athletic teams, to help build the culture of the school, to just to guide and plan and promote activities for the student body. And that's for everyone, and we do partner a lot with athletics. It seems like we do a lot with athletics, but that's okay. That's definitely an avenue to get kids involved in our school, whether it be participating or spirit.
Well,
But
how many kids are involved in the group?
Well, we have increased our membership this year from about 150 last year to 300.
Wow.
So we're building. Yeah, we're definitely
Wow.
building. And we have a really good base of leaders that really are the driving force of student government. And I have them in class, fourth period every day. I have a leadership class. So you have everybody on the board, and you've got other leaders in the group that want to have this class, and they actually take the lead and plan things. They did the homecoming. We're getting ready to start on prom. So in just doing this for the first year this year, I can already see how we want to make some changes for next year. And I personally and Miss Noyes, we would like to get the kids more involved in the community. We have so much talent in our group, and we'd love to get them some exposure in the community, like, any kind of community projects or anything that different organizations out there would want to partner with us. We would be more than willing to work with them and showcase some of our kids' talents that we have in the club.
Absolutely. That's fantastic what you guys are doing. Trying to draw the student body side of the school and bring it and not that we've missed that component, but boy, it would be nice to get it fired up and make it an anchor for all of these other things like project graduation. That's a huge one. You've got any kind of athletics going on. That's absolutely phenomenal in that transition. And then you've got the theater program. I mean, we've got some really cool things going on at both ends of the school, and knowing that student body government is kind of in the middle, getting fired up and being able to branch out. That's going to be huge, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And I think that we'll only get bigger. I'm sorry, that was my dog. I mean, we'll only get bigger. We've got right now, when I first started, it was kind of, when me and Miss Noyes were first getting started this year, we have so many ideas, but it's like it becomes so overwhelming. We have to start small and build. And so I think that we have learned from this year, and maybe we can really focus on some of the smaller things so we don't spread ourselves too thin. But one thing that is our main goal is just to get kids more involved in our things that we have to offer in school, whether it be attending the theater programs, attending a sporting event that they have never done before, going to homecoming dance, participating in some of the homecoming activities. We really want to get the word out because we want it to be inclusive, completely inclusive, not just the SGA kids or the sports kids. We want everyone to feel like they can be involved and be part of it. So,
well, now, and I'll tell you the connections that are out there for kids who are in more to the politicking side. There's the college arena now with sports is changing with the NIL and different things like that. And there's more of a need for leadership roles for the athletes to make more money. So there's two components that are working there. And I could see this kind of molding minds of the future to one, look at theater maybe a little differently because there's a financial backside to theater.
Yes.
And then there's a financial backside to athletics. And it does take I don't want to say a different mindset, but it takes if you've got a guy who's a good quarterback or a girl who's a good theater major, those are what they're good at. It takes everyone working together to find their special niche. to really kind of highlight the greatness of everything, right?
That's true. That's true. What was I going to say about that? But yeah, and the thing about it is, one thing I've noticed with working in SGA this year is that, I kind of feel like in the past, it's been the same kids, the ace kids, the star athletes or whatever, to take those leadership roles. But I feel like, this year, some people have taken leadership roles and have really taken the ball and run with it that normally wouldn't have spoken up.
That's
And
cool.
so, and that's cool, that's really cool. And so they find their voice in organizing things.
It has to be fun to watch that happen.
Oh, it is so cool. It is so cool to meet someone the first day of school that is just sitting at their desk and doesn't really talk much. And you can just, sorry. And you can just get to know them and find out what they're excited about and give them a project. And before you know it, that's what happened with the Touchdown Club. Before you know it, the whole thing was she had this girl who really hadn't done much. She actually, when she was in the leadership class, she wasn't even part of SGA. She was just in there. And we gave her the Touchdown Club and said, listen, if you can get a core group of freshman volunteers and you can tell them where to go and what to be, you got this, you can do it. And she did it. And since then she's taken the ball and she's going to probably run for vice president next year. And so it's cool. It's very cool.
Well, and that it says a whole lot, because 2 years into this, you've got stories of success.
Yes.
And you can see the growth and the connection that you're going to have between athletes and theaters and different projects within, and even with project graduation and
yes.
anything like that, you're going to have that, the students really growing together.
Yes. And that's on our agenda too. We just added project graduation to one of the things that we want to work on, and provide our help with whatever they need, because that's a huge project that our school takes on.
Ms. Kinker, is that this year's project graduation you're going to help out with? Oh, excellent.
Yeah. I had heard that they were trying to move it back to the school. It was, for a couple of years, they did it at the aquatic center, but I think they're trying to get it back to the school. And if that's the case, it's going to require more manpower.
Right.
So
before that, they did the Boys and Girls Club as well.
Oh,
before
did they?
Center. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's such an amazing thing that they do at the, after graduation. So I've always wanted to be part of it. I have a senior now, so I guess there's no time like the present.
Well, we jump right in both feet.
Jump right in. So that's what I'm going to do.
That's cool. Don, do you have anything else?
Yes, of course I do. Do we have time for Ms. Kinker, or is there someone waiting after?
No, you got plenty of time. Go ahead.
Is Belser on there waiting or not?
He's in the background. He's in the green room.
All right. Well, as you might have noticed, I'm making my way over to the preserve for my other gig. I'm the announcer for the girls' game. Ms. Kinker, I wanted to bring up your role with the basketball team.
Yeah.
As not only as a teacher helping out with SGA, but as a parent. How's that experience been going for you? You can tell everybody what you do, if you don't mind.
Oh, well, this year has been a little bit easier. I used to, run the concession stand as a fundraiser, and we had hot food and snacks. This year, I go to Sam's Club, I get all the snacks, and I have a little stand in the inside of the gym, which we pull in a little bit of money from that. But we are so grateful to the football team for.
You got to tell her why you got scooped. What happened? You got scooped because
of the football teams having a big cantina, a huge concession stand now. And they have every kind of food you can imagine, including funnel fries. And
it's getting famous, John. The referees are even talking about it. They're like,
you
heard about the barbecue pork sandwiches? I said, yep, that's us.
And French fries with cheese. I mean, they really have a great stand. So that has been special to have that this year. And so Right now and it is, this year has been great. It's Jackson's last year. And so it's going to be pretty emotional coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
Because he is the youngest, and we've been going to games for how many years, all the different
Right.
sports. So that's coming to an end.
For those of you who don't know, you're talking Jackson Kinker is our starting point guard for the Bobcat varsity team. Miss Kinker, who else did you have above Jackson's age group that was in your family that did sports? Was anybody else that went here? I can't remember. This one who played baseball. I don't remember who he played.
Yeah, well, my daughter graduated from Northport, and she played basketball and volleyball for 2 years, and then my 2 oldest went to Venice.
So you're used to the long seasons of never-ending travel ball and camps, yes. And
year-round seasons of baseball, basketball, volleyball.
You're not going to know what to do when he's done this season. What are you going to do with your time?
Miss Noise is going to keep me busy with SGA.
Yeah.
We're gonna kick it into high gear with SGA, I think, next year.
What would you say to parents out there watching to come and join the ball? Well, we'd like to see them join the boosters overall, but at a minimum, at least get on the basketball parent side.
Yeah. No, I would say, having been through it, get involved as much as you can to be a part of your child's school career. Just being involved, knowing their teachers, showing up to the activities, getting to know the other parents. It just makes the experience so fulfilling. And it actually really helps the kid's success too, knowing that the parent knows what's going on. So I just encourage, and as a teacher and a parent, I love nothing more than to see parents at games or parents out in the community. And I want to talk to you about your kids, and I want to talk to you about their successes, and let you know that I'm a community member just like you that cares about, our school and our students. So, I love it when parents are involved. It's just, it makes it for a better experience. And just encourage anybody that has a child at Northport High to come on out. Even if your kid doesn't play a sport, go to an event or go to a play with them. We have so much in our school that's amazing. We have amazing talent.
Has Coach Wallace begged you to stay on for next year to be the parent liaison?
Well, I'm grooming Damien's mom. Hopefully she'll.
Okay, good.
Yes, but I'll be around.
Position.
I'll be around. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, that's fantastic.
Well, Ms. Kinker, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Again, that's going to be our first tailgate event for the boys basketball. Will be next Tuesday, and we'll get announced as soon as we find out. We'll put it on our site, and then the last Friday of the 26th, I believe, for the girls' game.
Yep.
And that's for the students only. Are the parents allowed to come to that, or is it just students only, or is there like a?
I think it's students only.
Okay.
Just for safety reasons. So.
Gotcha. All right. Okay. That sounds good. And they get $2 tickets for those nights as well with their student ID.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Mrs. Kinker. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
I'll see you tomorrow. Or no, I'll see you next week.
Next week, Saturday.
So, John, I can't see because I'm looking at the camera. Is Coach Belser there?
Coach Belser is there.
All right. We know this man very well. Coach Belser, thank you for coming on tonight. You'll be my last intro because I'm going to head up to the press box here to get ready for tonight's soccer game.
Happening, fellas?
Showdown.
Good, buddy.
I brought Coach Belser on for a reason, John, a selfish reason. Our last episode with Coach Belser was before the LaBelle playoff game, and I talked about when you find out what we're going to do for the next year, let us know. And sure enough, over Christmas break, word got out. We know what we're going to be doing next year for our scheduling. So, Coach Belser, what do we have planned for these next 2 years? Take it away.
I appreciate you, man. Well, again, just to get right to it, we're going to stay on an independent cycle for 2 more seasons. Just sitting back and talking with some coaches I know from earlier in my career and the guys we have on staff and just coaches in general that I know. It's just, we feel, it would be best to continue down this path. I think we figured out what it's like to win this past year. I don't think we know what it's like to consistently win yet. And we do have to replace 20 seniors. that's not an easy task for anybody, and especially for a program like us that's just now starting to see, those results come to fruition. But, that's what we were planning on doing. It's going to have critics and people that, think it's not the best, or those that prefer the old school straight district method. But I believe with how we scheduled this coming year, we've added more competitive teams that have a name behind them, local teams that we didn't have on schedule, such as DeSoto, Charlotte High School, and a few other newbies that we can talk about once the full schedule is done. It's, I believe, the next step. So
Here's
go
the
ahead.
thing, and you there's a plan in place. You've kind of got to have this plan to change environment and culture. We're talking about a culture change within a program that it has some successes. It had some successes. It never had the foundation successes. Yeah, you're right. But if you look at what was accomplished this year, it started at home with the student body. It started within the city, even, because the city is actually talking differently about the program. We're young. We're an infant in the stages of schools around our area that have these programs. I'll even throw Venice in a conversation. Venice is an old program. It's got a good foundation. It's rock solid. No questions about it. Can you get exposed at Northport and go on to higher learning and get a college education as a D1 program? Hell yes, you can. That's what they have to hear. Standing on sidelines for a couple of years isn't necessarily the way to go either. So truth is kind of truth. And what I like about what you're presenting right now is you're actually just telling the community what the truth is. There is no false narrative.
Well, I think that's why my players respond to me as well as they do most of the time. Even when I'm being difficult, I'm very blunt, straight up person. I'm a big don't. I always talk about this ain't Disneyland. You know what I mean? I love those movies. I'm the biggest sports feel good storyline movie guy on the planet. You know what I mean? Invincible, Friday Night Lights, remember the Titans, you name them.
Right.
But we're not in Hollywood. It's not. We're not just gonna believe and wish upon a star that we're gonna just be great all of a sudden. And I think just approaching it from a logical point of view and with the long term, and really pushing like, hey, this is in your best interest.
Well,
That really Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You've got 20 seniors leaving, but how many juniors do we have following behind those 20 that are leaving? Are we replacing seniors, so to speak?
There's a lot of positions that are going to be open from our starting offense and defense where current juniors ideally should be those guys to step into place. Now, it depends on how they take this off season, because I've never been one to hesitate or shy away from playing someone who's young and hungry and wants to give them their all. I'm a fan of passion and effort, and they know this, and some guys can do it and some guys are still trying to figure out how to, but I'm not going to be hung up on trying to play people that are going to be seniors. They will get the first crack if they earn it.
Well, and I want to kind of go back to what you were talking about with staying where we're at in the independent side. Part of the problem with our program with football is that we don't have the depth that other teams have. We don't have the 3 to 4 player depth, do we?
I'd like to say we do. I think in certain positions we have guys that can fill the need, but I can't look at every spot and say, oh, okay, number 4 is just as good as number 1, minus .05 off their 40. You know
Right.
what I mean? I think our backfield is pretty close to being about as deep as we can get. But there's a lot of questions, and there's a lot of unanswered that we're gonna need to figure out in the spring because we have to replace 4 starting linemen on offense. We
That's
have to replace 3 starting linemen on defense
that's
and guys that have rotated quite a bit. That's not easy to do.
no. Never is.
Starting free safety. It's I can go on and on about it. So it's one of those things that come spring afterwards, we could come out of it looking really good, and I'm like, man, we could have played in the districts, or we haven't made as much progress as I want, and I'm like, oh, thank God we made this decision. But either way, I think it's what's going to benefit the kids the most. No one wants to come recruit you getting your ass kicked. You know what I mean? And I feel like we've found a schedule that is strong and suits us as a strength in terms of us as a high school, our strength of, um, I guess, the strength of personnel that we have right now, so to speak. We can win these games, and none of them are guaranteed victories, but I think it's plausible wins. There's no game we're sitting there like, okay, how are we going to give this speech to the kids? All right, we're going to go out there and give them hell, but in the back of everybody's minds, it's like, okay, we can play with them for maybe 2 quarters, maybe, but the discrepancies between size and athleticism, it's just not there yet.
Do you feel like the culture is changing within the city?
I believe so. As she should. My mom pumps my head full of bull crap every day about, oh yeah, everybody loves what's happening. Sure. Okay, mom. You know what I mean? I'm sure we have supporters. I believe we do things the right way most of the time, and we have the best intentions with what we do, I guess, decision-wise around the program for the players. And we are pretty good about involving people in what we do besides just our inner nucleus in terms of coaches and a few parents. Uh, everybody, when I say everybody, I mean, I guess the investment from the community and certain packets and pockets of families and business owners, they're starting to understand, like, okay, so the rotating doors closed. We have coaches that are now going to be going on to their 4th year as a staff together. We've had 3 kids leave, now go on to our 4th year. We haven't had a kid leave since the 2022 season. So I think on the surface, people that are sort of layman's with how this works will be like, okay, so there's a positive direction. And I think that's needed because as much as people want to be hometown supporters, it's the United States of America and everybody likes a winner.
Yep, I agree.
Hey, Coach, I hate to interrupt you. I had my microphone off. Can you go back
No,
for a
of
second? I
course.
might have forgotten something on the next year's schedule. Are you guys already setting your teams up for that? Has that already happened, or is that for later?
Without getting too much into it, we're at this point. We just need to fill one more regular season
Oh my
week, and then
goodness!
we have
And
a full.
I
Yeah,
asked you
no,
that. I asked you that because I've been watching.
Oh, we
kind of
lost
cut.
it.
Yeah, you kind of cut out, Sean. Not kind of, but gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
So talk about the schedule and the uniqueness of it and how you had to put it back together.
Well, we looked at it again almost immediately once the season ended. Myself, our AD, Tony Miller, and one of our assistant coaches who's been with me since the beginning, Matt Egloff. And we said, again, identify what teams, okay, these games, they were competitive and they were solid wins, And then we looked at these other games. All right, so again, I don't throw shade anywhere, but we go back to Ambassadors Christian Academy showing up with 11 people. That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever been a part of in my life. God bless what they're doing up there, and I hope that it's a better situation, but they showed up an hour and a half late to the game with 11 players. Some didn't have helmets. I I couldn't even look at our principal. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God. And while we did win, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Booger flavor lollipop.
Actually, stop,
Nothing
stop,
good about it.
stop trying to explain it because just everything you just tried to say explained it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're not trying to have that kind of schedule. You're actually trying to find opponents out there within that independent status, right?
Yeah, well, independent and district FHSA, members, people that are playing district schedules and teams that they're not going to have to see and look at and be like, who in the living hell is that?
Right.
You know what I mean? I
Right.
think everybody we have on the schedule so far, waiting on this last week to fill, is a familiar name in some way or fashion.
Okay.
You know where I'm
Awesome.
coming from.
That's
So
awesome. I think
I
that's
think
great. And if
yes,
you
and that's
build that
important.
I think if you could build that each and every year and build that, I guess that stepping stone approach into each schedule each and every year to kind of climb your way back into the district. Wouldn't that be a smarter move anyway?
That's my approach, John, and that's kind of where I envision these things going. I think we have the support in terms of the administration side of things with the direction we're going. I think that's another thing that's been a big difference for me, besides, wanting to be here for more than a year, is that I do have that administrative assistance. They are actively trying to get me coaches. In the time I've been here, we've gotten a brand new turf field. We've got a brand new locker room. We're getting a brand new weight room. And that's not me going out and selling a smoke screen to people. That's, you know, divine timing, but also, okay, this is worth investing. So it, it's all starting to point in the right direction. I don't think we're going to go out there and start swimming with the sharks just yet.
Right.
But I think we can hit him in the nose a little bit. We're getting close.
Um, Sean, are you still? I know that you just texted me. Are you there?
Yes, but you kicked me off. Can you hear me?
I know. No,
Oh, okay.
I didn't kick you off. It fell off
My
for some
sister
reason.
called and interrupted. I wanted to say something, Coach, before I leave.
Yeah.
I was watching the news all break long. These big time coaches all mad about this district and that district, and I don't want to be in this district. And I'm so glad we can sit back and watch and build the program up in a positive direction and not have to worry about them not liking FHSAA policies. But before I go, don't forget to mention what's going on in the spring, your blue and silver, your summer fundraisers. I'd love to hear more about it. I'll catch you on the live feed again. Take care, Coach.
Of
Good
course,
seeing you.
Sean.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, man. Good hearing from you.
Yep.
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't even remember where I left off.
As far as like your upcoming events, let's slide into that because
Okay.
the truth of the matter is one, having a good schedule and having it put together this early and having the structure, that's an advantage to you. But also working it within the community and getting fundraisers going and the spotlight back onto football. Yet again, I mean, we're ending football, and yet we need to get the spotlight on football, don't we?
It's hard to believe, to be quite honest with you. You know what I mean? It still feels weird for me, like having to move on from. Again, it's an unfortunate thing, but it's part of the game. Move on from this past senior class, and now it's time for the 2025ers to start making their own team. It's an organic thing, and it's just part of it, but it's still the hardest part, I think, to get used to because you're so used to being around them for a few hours if not 4 or 5 hours a day during the season and into the summer, and for 4 to 3 years, and then I'm lucky if I see them walking in between classes because most of them don't have their last half of the day because they're so close to graduating.
So
That part,
uh,
I don't know. I kind of just rambled, but that's
what
the biggest
what
part, I think.
what are we doing? We're transitioning away from 20 seniors, which is tough. I don't care what program you're running. You drop 20 seniors in any school unless you've got the horses in the stable, so to speak. You're scrambling all the time to fill those voids. Um, what are we doing in this transition between off-season football into football? What are we doing to are we doing anything off-season training, focus, getting the kids gathered up, keeping the camaraderie together? Are we doing anything like that?
Well, again, we're kind of handcuffed with the weight room, but
Correct.
as uh, from what I know, we're going to have all the equipment delivered sometime tomorrow, if not first thing in the morning, and we're going to be moving stuff in. So once that's all moved in and completed and totally finished, we can really dive into our off-season workouts again. We really had to make do with our outside basketball courts. We put out rubber matting and been using that and modified our lifts to be almost cross training core. It's more centric to body weight and balance and things that hit the full top to bottom. We haven't really been isolating on a bench or in a squat rack because we haven't had any of them. But we've been cleaning, we've been doing a lot of lunges, we've been doing a lot of things that are lower body centric, but put put you through. They put you through the ringer. We get the kids in and out in an hour and a half, if not less, sometimes with what we do right now. Obviously, it'll be a little bit longer once the weight room's finished, just because uh, we'll have a little bit more structured core lifting. But you know, really just been stressing with these guys that, especially these coming seniors, like, okay, everybody's moved on. No one cares anymore that you won 6 games. Just come to terms with that. Okay. What are you going to do now? You know what I mean? And people think it gets easier. No, now it's harder. Okay. Now there's expectations. Okay. And now there's plenty of people that are really excited and supportive, and you're going to get a lot of positivity and upside from that. There's a lot of people that want to see that downfall. They want to see that, oh, it's a fluke. Oh, whoops, back to old Northport. And if I was a player, I'd be thinking about that every day and just pissing myself off. You know what I mean? But it's not 15 years ago, and I can't do that anymore. And it's fun. We have such great kids. It's almost frustrating because I'm like, God, I want you guys to be so mean out here. Like, this is the only, like, be fantastic, nice everywhere in life, except
Except those.
here for 2 hours. Can you just give me like the worst side of you?
Right.
But obviously
Well,
a good problem to have.
those are teachable moments, Coach.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
So
But yeah. So again, just kind of wrapping all that up, making the best decision that we think's long term best for the program. Yes, it sucks because God forbid we really go out there, we do all the right things, and we have a hell of a year. We do better. There's no playoff implication, and that's, I imagine, again, it sucks as a senior, but we can still do a lot of great things. We can still do a lot of firsts that haven't happened. Like, okay, you got to see some things happen last year, but now you get to do even better this year.
it sounds to me like you need to put the roadmap out there for them, Coach.
Hey, we try to as much as possible, but I think they, put it into concrete visual, like, hey, man, you don't understand. You're right here. This thing's gonna get right down to, oh my goodness, it's
Well, this is
November.
Isn't this the time that work ethic transpires into outcomes later?
I think this is the biggest part. This time period, if not from a week after the season, if give them 2 weeks because they need a rest, but 2 weeks after the regular season until the beginning of the next regular season, that determines how much you win. You
That's
know
it.
what I mean? It really does. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how they do it up north when they don't have spring ball, but down here, we really got to maximize that time. And truthfully, we're going to be behind the 8 ball already because we haven't got to utilize our
Do you,
weight training to the fullest.
do you think that the new weight room is going to enhance the productivity once it opens up?
I think it'll be a difference maker. You know,
Awesome.
it's those who know how important that is, and just whenever there's such a large increase of space like we're getting, it really maximizes what you can do. And the biggest thing I feel, and a lot of people would agree, is the safety aspect of it. You know, if you were familiar with the weight room at any
Oh,
point in the past 2 years, you're rubbing elbows. And if you got 45 athletes in there and we're trying to do something hard and intense movement, there's going to be a lot of, you know
I
what I mean? Like,
say this, but it's been rubbing elbows for a long time.
since I
Almost
was there.
since the doors were open. We have
Yep.
not. We have. There's some bold statements to be made because we didn't have lights on the girls' softball and girls' baseball field. We didn't have a big enough facility. We didn't have a lot of things. And really, as far as a guy who doesn't bash and call people out, I was here during all that. I helped maneuver some of those things. I helped along the lines. We had Caroline Zucker, who really stuck up for Northport and said, "Wait a minute, they don't have these things, and we've got to get these things." So, that's Caroline Zucker on the football field with me, sitting out there talking about lights on the field. That's where the lights came from. Those are Riverview's lights. They were obsolete back in '08 and in
Wow.
storage in '08. Those are still the lights today that were obsolete, and they redid Riverview back then. That's the reality of the conversation. It's that we didn't get new stuff. We're getting hand-me-downs. Now we're getting a new work gym, a new weight room, but holy cow, that's a credit mover forward. We have we have worked our way as Northport citizens, as Northport people in school, and parents and students. We've literally worked our way through all the solid walls that were built with our school, and they were called restrictions. And unfortunately, they built it too small. They didn't project it out right. They didn't lay it out right. They didn't do any of those things
Oh,
right.
not even close. We had facilities that are made for a school, like -2 of our size. Like it's just divided by 2. That's maybe
And
what it could have accommodated.
and,
But
and listen, I'll throw grenades when I need to, which I just did. But here's the thing: I'll also say that who would have thought that we would have gone from 20,000 to 85,000 in 20 years?
yeah, I can't blame them from not, predicting that.
Yeah.
It's an insane growth.
So
Absolutely insane.
I'll give props. I'll take it away. I'll do all those things. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, I think the reality of kids who come in and kids who leave and parents who don't say anything and parents who do is that the truth of the matter is we've been behind the 8 ball and we've worked through it, and we've had great athletes come out of our school with knowing there was limitations. And that's the point that needs to be made and heard all the way up to the landings, is that we persevered with the limits that were put on us. And I any coach that comes through, any football coach that came through prior to you, has had the same. There is no different problem. It's ironic that we're sitting here talking about where we're at. You know for a fact you are in it. This is the grind. This is the grind that we have faced since the school was open.
No,
And it hasn't.
110%.
So I was here. I was the parent. I was the athletic booster president, and I watched really good athletes go on to school in other programs and really separate themselves, but have a hometown to call a hometown. And I watched other athletes drive away to go play and win somewhere, and to this day still don't have a hometown.
No, because they've ostracized themselves during that time period, and I don't know. It's
there's two ways of looking at it, and you've done a great job at trying to rebuild culture, at trying to do these things, and not unlike any other coach that's been there prior to you, they've all tried to do it. They've all tried to build that culture. But this restart that we're doing right now, we never had this from the start. It was always just thrown to the dogs with all the limitations I just talked about.
no, yeah, I agree. And I think all of that, sorry to cut you off, but
No, that's all right.
all of those challenges and everything the coaches before me had to deal with, I think, have, culminated to this point, and it's all happened for a reason. And, and the perfect situation for some of those guys, because I know a few of them were damn good coaches, they would have been able to do something too, But
A lot of those guys, and we can say this out loud, a lot of those guys that were coaching here, they didn't get out of coaching. They're still coaching. They're just coaching north of us.
yeah, they just wear green.
Yeah. And so, the reality is we had and have had great coaches here, good teaching coaches here, but it's a culture that has to change. It's not the teaching that has to change. You're doing both, and you're trying to rebuild that culture, and that's what the parents need to hear. They need to hear you're a culture builder. They need to hear you're a leader, and you're a builder of leader within men, and trying to do that and establish that kind of culture within Northport. And that's what's going to change Northport.
Well, and I'm fortunate that, again, flattering, but I've got a lot of people around me, and this isn't just jargon, but I'm fortunate. I got a lot of people around me that really care about what we do around here. You know what I mean? I'm finally at that point, where we have people that are handling stuff behind the scenes that I don't have to think about. But hey, coach, we took care of this, or we have this coming up. Oh, nice. And internally I'm like, why are these people so nice? And why do they care so much? As much as I love and appreciate it, but I think it's because we do things the right way. Again, I think it's all about how you treat people. I'm not going to sit there and say we blow smoke up everyone's rear end, but I think just being polite and treating people right, being cordial, and being firm with your kids when the teacher needs a little bit of backup goes a long way.
Sure enough.
And that method takes time, and a lot of people don't want to take 3 years to get to that point. I was locked in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Most places, if you want to win immediately, you got to stir some shit up. Excuse my language, but you're going to step on a lot of toes to start winning early.
Yep.
Or if you're just blessed with an unbelievable class of athletes, but those guys can make you look like a genius real quick. Neither here nor there. But yeah, I just think we do things the right way. It's starting to pay off, and we just gotta trust the climb, man. It's getting there.
Hey, I look forward to another successful year. I know that you've got your focus right where it should be, and you'll have your kids in the weight room here before too long, doing that same exact thing. So we've gone about 10 minutes over, but
Sorry.
and no, you're good. Some of these things have to be said, but it's ironic that we talk about the program, but we never talk about the limitations that are sometimes set forth. Not having a weight room during the off season. Name another school right now that's going through what you're going through.
Again, I'm sure there's somebody out there, but off the top of my head,
Nobody.
Nobody.
We've got yet another setback, but sometimes you take a step back to take a leap forward. And
bend, don't break.
I hope that happens, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good night. And I appreciate you being part of Bobcat Blitz. And we'll talk to you next month or soon, I'm sure.
Hey, shoot me a text, man. Appreciate you as always.
Hey,
Take care.
Thank you so much. All right. We'll talk to you. Bye-bye.